Hi, this is Shay Veronica, and this is what is in your news. Price paying, cost of living increasing despite government's attempt to ease consumers. This will happen because Barbadians love living in poverty and poor people pay more for everything. That is a fact. Poor people pay more for everything straight across the board. Let's move on. Ivan and Eugene Moore. I blogged about them separately, and maybe if they're to tell people the real truth behind why their marriage lasted 67 years, people will be better informed. The truth is everything, okay? Dunville Innes still fights for early release. It's not really early release at this point. He is spending the full 2 years in federal lockup, but they're saying that he's supposed to be deported. We've talked about this before, but he's still in a struggle. He walked around Barbados talking about it's good to be king and, singing and dancing up on video right before he was supposed to be sentenced. So now he's feeling it behind bars. Let's move on. CARICOM countries to benefit from deal, says WTO head. And it seems as though there's a benefit from a new global agreement to end US $22 billion in harmful international fishery subsidies. And there's a Nigerian economist going and heading it, so you know where that's going to end, and where you understand what's going on when you hear about Nigeria and those people being part of anything. So that's it. Derelict boats causing concern. We go on. So you could just imagine what boats piling up on the beach and rotting, and you could just imagine what the concerns that would create. Okay, let's move on. Barbados from Super Bowl screen. They're talking about this little girl, Isis Hinkson. I didn't see her on the Super Bowl screen. Did you? But maybe because I think I heard that Rihanna is doing some sort of documentary leading up to the Super Bowl. Maybe that short film will be in there, but I did not. From Barbados to Super Bowl screen, I didn't see her on the Super Bowl screens, but maybe you did. Let's move on. She was very good, by the way. She was very, very good in what she did. Slow Valentine's sales. Yeah, people are hurting. People are hurting in Barbados. It's not easy. It's just not easy. Moving on. A boy was struck by a minibus in Paynes Bay. Yeah, that must have been very painful. So let's wish him all the best. Cow itch, a major problem for Arch Hall firemen. You always hear about this. Maybe it comes at a particular time of the year, so you should expect it, because every year you're hearing about it. So don't pretend that it's something new or something that you haven't overcome before. And you should have the remedies. If this happens every year, shouldn't you have the remedies to know what to do? And if you know what to do, why is it in the news? But whatever. The DLP bemoans conditions at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I think you all know what's going on there. They were hacked and they're still not online, not 100% online. Black History Month in our schools. I don't know how that's going to work because, like I said, Barbadians like being poor. So I don't understand what you're going to teach Barbadians about Black History Month, because Barbadians don't even want to talk about the slavery that they came from. They don't like to talk about slavery. They don't want to talk about slavery now. They would swear up and down that slavery has ended, the same way that they think that there's no slavery now. Is the same way people that lived 300 years ago thought there was no slavery then. It's a crazy world we live in. There's always slavery, and imagine you living in a time thinking there's no slavery, especially when you came from slavery. And obviously, if you're thinking there's no slavery, it actually means that you're not helping people who are enslaved. You're not doing anything. You're not keeping an eye out. You're not doing anything because you just think there's no slavery. So that's it for Barbados. Keep workers involved. That's what they're saying. It's important for managers to keep workers involved. Of course it is. You got to keep people working, give them some money, give them a title. Yeah, that should work. We have become a disorderly society. You've heard that before, haven't you? Someone wrote in talking about Barbados being a disorderly society. And then let's move on. Okay, they talk about Rihanna. Let me, am I missing anything? Yeah. They're talking about Rihanna. Rihanna was at the Super Bowl last night. She played the Super Bowl. She was great. No, no, nothing from me. I was just happy that she didn't come on this on the stage in the thang, 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 I was just happy about that. I held my breath. I was hoping that she, was clothed, and she was. And we all found out that she's pregnant. And she did a very good job at the Super Bowl yesterday. It was Rihanna. Rihanna is not a performer. She's not going to be spinning and, going all over the thing and dancing. That is not the way she performs. She did Rihanna. Rihanna did what she does. She did Rihanna last night. I was totally relieved that it was decent and nothing, no major hangups. I was very happy for her, and totally happy that there was no thang involved, that she didn't come up there like how she was walking around when she was pregnant with that first one, all half naked. I was just happy that she had on some clothes for the Super Bowl. It's an international event, and I was not going to have it. I could not bear to think that it was going to go down like that, but it didn't. Let's move on. Policy to secure elderly finances. Oh Lord, let's hope whatever policy you have to secure the elderly finances, there's insurance behind it, because there's no policy. It's going to be, their money is going to be stolen. Their money is going to be removed from the account. It's going to be stolen. You don't care about the elderly, but they're trying to think. And let's hope that whatever policy that they put in to secure the elderly's finances is also covered via insurance, just in case it goes missing, that the insurance will put it right back into the account. No questions asked. And let's hope that when they catch the person who takes it out without the permission, stealing, thief, let's hope that that person goes to jail for life. Okay, going on. Robbery at Rubis Petrol. I talked about that yesterday. There was a robbery there at the petrol station. CBC is struggling. Yes, FCBC is struggling to pay the people that are working there. You can imagine the people that were fired that they still owe money to. Sink or swim for CBC. There must be a solution to the crisis in the pine, including a realistic look at its future viability. A few tweets will no longer suffice. So, like I said, if they are struggling now, can you imagine if they're going to come up with money, or where they're going to come up with money from to pay the ones that were released a couple years back? Ain't going to happen. Reparations. Bajans. Oh, yeah, let's go to reparations. Legislation for reparations. I had a note. Bajans like living in slavery. They like living in poverty. Bajans like the way things are. I don't understand how you're going to legislate for reparations, because the white people are looking at all that and they're seeing that Bajans like living in poverty. It's a fact. You like living in poverty. You romance it. You romance that, and you say, some people even said they would like to go back to when they were even poorer now, to relive those days. So the white man's not going to give you anything. Your best bet is winning the lottery. I spoke about that earlier. That's your best bet. And then if you did win the lottery, then all of a sudden you don't like being poor anymore. You don't want to live in the neighborhood anymore. You don't want to live like that anymore. You want, brick roads, and you want, marble floors, and you once you have money, you will see how it is to live well. And you're not in your right mind if you enjoy living in poverty. Carry on. Okay, and then that's it. And then one more, there's a priest saying that Afro people made to be a blessing. Now, I must admit, I didn't read what he meant by that, and your titles could be confusing. But when he says Afro people made to be a blessing for who? So I can only assume that he's saying that black people were made to be a blessing for white people, because that's all that ever happens. It's all that ever happens. You need the money from the white people. You need the white people to invest in your countries. And I don't have to go on and on. You do know what happens when you try to run a country and the country is black, right? You need to go to the white people to get money and for them to come to your place and visit and get tourist money or whatever you need to do. But white people are always needed and always involved. That's it in your news to share, Veronica.